The bells of St. Peter's Basilica rang out across the Vatican that morning. But it wasn't celebration, it was warning. A wind rushed through the square as if heaven itself whispered, something is about to change. For centuries, the curious stood like an immovable mountain. Cardinals who seemed untouchable, their power deeply rooted behind marble walls. But on May 7th to 8th, 2025, the world watched as a Chicago-born Augustinian, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, walked into history and emerged as Pope Leo XIV. The first American pope, a man whose name alone, Leo, invoked the memory of lions and legends. Echoing Pope Leo XIII, the pope who shook the industrial age. But this Leo, this pope, is not here to preserve statues or ceremonies. He is here to break chains. To clean house. Reports are already leaking quietly, carefully, fearfully, that 6 cardinals, some among the most powerful in the Vatican, may be removed. Names like Luis Antonio Tagal, once called the Asian Francis, now facing whispers of reassignment, stand at the center of this storm. In Germany, Cardinal Rainer Woelki faces a petition of over 60,000 signatures demanding his removal over abuse scandals. Petitions, protests, hidden factions already trembling. And yet, behind these political ripples lies something greater. Pope Leo XIV, a mathematician by training, is calculating every move like a man who has seen the numbers. The Church's finances, its trust deficit, its bleeding credibility. He knows the Vatican can't survive with hidden rot beneath golden altars. Insiders speak of secret midnight meetings, whispered oaths, files pulled from archives long thought sealed. One source said it bluntly, Leo XIV is dismantling an empire Pope Francis left behind. This is the most dramatic purge since the Reformation. Cardinals once considered future popes Peter Erdjik, Pietro Parolin, even Robert Serra, are suddenly quiet, their allies silenced. Some conservative commentators who once labeled Leo XIV an anti-Trump pope are shifting their tone. Unsure which way the wind is blowing, deals are whispered, loyalties are tested, and rumors swirl of Latin mass policies softening in exchange for support. But the question haunting Rome is not who goes next. It's why now. A Vatican insider claims there is a sealed dossier, a collection of names, dates, and transactions that Leo XIV himself received within days of his election. Some say it's tied to the Third Secret of Fatima. Others say it's far worse, a betrayal inside the papacy itself. For the faithful, this is not politics. This is spiritual warfare. A pope who came not to whisper reform, to roar, to cleanse the bride of Christ before a storm no one expects. Something is coming, something big, and 6 cardinals are about to fall. Asterisk the Vatican, that eternal city of marble and mystery, is trembling tonight. For centuries it has been called the heart of the Church, but hearts can harbor secrets and secrets of power. Behind locked doors, where frescoed ceilings watch every whispered deal, 2 factions collide. One clings to ancient privileges, 2 quiet compromises to a world where scandal can be buried beneath incense. The other, the one now guided by Pope Leo XIV, carries a fire not seen in generations. This pope, born far from Rome, molded by missionary poverty and the raw struggles of workers, has stepped into the chair of Peter with a mission written on his soul, to purify the bride of Christ, not gently, not quietly, but like a lion devouring corruption at its roots. And now, 6 cardinals stand in the crosshairs. Tagle, Woelki Parolin, Erdjik, Serra, and one more name, known only to Leo XIV himself, hidden for now, as if waiting for the final trumpet. Why these 6? Why now? Sources say it began with a dossier. A collection of letters, banking trails, private testimony handed to Pope Leo XIV on his very first night as pontiff. Documents said to have been locked away since Pope Benedict's resignation, containing secrets so dangerous that previous popes sealed them, fearing civil war within the Church itself. But Leo XIV is different. He does not fear the storm, he steps into it. And already, the signs are there. Vatican bank officials quietly resigning. Mid-level curia. Staff reassigned to mission fields far away. Layers of power, peeling like old paint, revealing a war that was always there, hidden in plain sight. And then, something unthinkable happened. A trusted aide to one of the 6 cardinals allegedly broke silence, sending a cryptic message to a Catholic journalist. What's about to happen will make Vatileaks look like a children's tale. Could this be connected to the mysterious meeting between Pope Leo XIV and a group of exorcists just days ago? Eyewitnesses saw him clutch a relic of Saint Michael the Archangel, praying aloud for strength against enemies within and without. It feels apocalyptic, like a chess game. On the edge of heaven and hell, cardinals aligning, old alliances fracturing. Prophecies whispered in Marian shrines across the world suddenly feel alive, as if time itself is bending toward a divine showdown. One thing is clear. This is no ordinary papacy. This is a cleaning of the house not just of men, but of spirits, of forces unseen. And when the dust settles, the church may look nothing like the one we knew yesterday. And yet, there is hope. Because every cleansing, every purging, is followed by something greater. A bride made spotless. A church reborn for the age to come. The question, for every Catholic watching tonight, is not who will be removed, but who will remain when the lion has finished his roar. Asterisk. And then it happened. A thunderstorm broke over Rome, sudden, violent, almost biblical, as if heaven itself had chosen to speak in lightning. Pilgrims in St. Peter's Square clutched their rosaries, whispering prayers as rain hammered the cobblestones. It felt prophetic. At that very hour, Pope Leo XIV was in a locked meeting with 3 of his most trusted advisors. Men known for their loyalty to the faith, not to factions. They say the Pope placed his hand upon a centuries-old crucifix and uttered words that stunned even seasoned Vatican officials. I will not allow wolves to devour the flock any longer. Even if those wolves wear scarlet, this is no metaphor. This is not polite diplomacy. This is war, not of guns and armies, but of souls. One cardinal, known for decades as untouchable, is said to have received a letter of removal. His position temporarily suspended pending review. Insiders say he hasn't been seen in public since, and that private security was called to escort him from his apartment near St. Peter's. Another cardinal, long suspected of financial misconduct, reportedly emptied his Vatican safe within hours of the announcement, fleeing to his home country under the cover of night. But the most shocking moment? Luis Antonio Tagle. Once seen as the heir apparent to Pope Francis, Tagle's influence stretched from Asia to Europe. Yet whispers now suggest that he too may be quietly reassigned, not in disgrace, but to remove his hand from the levers of power as Leo XIV reshapes the church in his vision. And what is that vision? It is nothing less than the purification of the bride of Christ. A church set free from the weight of decades-old compromises. Church renewed in holiness, ready for an age where persecution grows and hearts grow cold. Prophecy, watchers round the world are connecting dots to others, are too afraid to see. The timing of this purge with unusual Marian apparitions reported in Europe and South America, sudden conversions among high-ranking Freemasons, even a mysterious letter from a cloistered nun warning, the chains around Peter's successors are breaking, and what comes next will shake the nations. Can all this be coincidence? Or is it divine design? One thing is certain. Forces inside and outside the Vatican are in motion. Secret factions that hid in the shadows during the Francis era are being dragged into the light, some fighting, some fleeing, some already whispering of betrayal and even schism. Yet Pope Leo XIV does not flinch. He does not negotiate with darkness. His papacy is being written in real time, and every Catholic watching knows this is not politics. This is a spiritual earthquake, and when earthquakes come, only what is unshakable will remain. And then, something happened that no one, not even the most seasoned Vatican watchers, could have imagined. Late into the night, as the rain still hammered the windows of the Apostolic Palace, ancient bell, one that had not rung in over 200 years, told by itself. Guards swore no one touched it. Some said it was an electrical fault, but others whispered, "This is a sign." Because at that exact moment, Pope Leo XIV emerged from a private chapel, holding in his hands a sealed envelope marked with the papal seal of Pope Pius XII. No one knew this envelope existed. Some said it was hidden in the secret archives, buried alongside the most mysterious documents in Catholic history, including letters linked to Fatima's third secret. He opened it slowly, prayerfully, and when he read it, those present said his face went pale. He whispered one word, "Now," and immediately summoned his closest advisors. Within hours, orders went out to 6 departments of the Curia. 6 cardinals, including Tegel, Wolke, and others whose names the Vatican has yet to officially confirm, were called to appear before him, and what he told them will be remembered for centuries. The time of silence is over. The bride must be cleansed. You will step down for the sake of her soul. Some wept. Some begged. One stormed out, slamming the door so hard it cracked the marble frame. Another simply stared, knowing his career, his influence, his power was finished. But then came the twist no one saw coming. For inside that same envelope was a prophecy written decades ago by a mystic nun under the guidance of Pius XII himself. It spoke of a future pope, an American-born missionary, who would rise when the wolves wear scarlet and the flock grows weary. It said he would tear down 6 pillars of corruption and open the gates for the shepherd to return. Those 6 pillars are now falling. And yet, as if heaven wanted to confirm it, lightning struck the Vatican obelisk in St. Peter's Square just as the first cardinal's resignation letter was signed. Pilgrims gasped. Priests fell to their knees. Even skeptics whispered, "Something divine is happening here." But the prophecy didn't end there. It spoke of one more sign, a cosmic one, that would come within days of the purge, when the sky is split and fire dances above the dome. No, the purification has begun, and the bride shall shine like glass. Just 3 days later, an aurora, blood red and gold, stretched across the skies of Rome, a phenomenon unseen in living memory. Scientists called it rare. The faithful called it the kiss of God. What does this mean? What will follow? Is this only the beginning of a greater storm? A purification that could shake the entire world, not just the Vatican? All we know is this. Pope Leo XIV has begun a war not of flesh and blood, but of powers and principalities. And in that war, there will be casualties. There will be betrayal. There will be miracles. And when it is finished, the Catholic Church may not look like anything we have ever known. It may look holy again, because sometimes before heaven can build, it must first tear down, and this Pope, this man, called Leo XIV, has chosen to tear down everything to save the bride of Christ.